2 years ago, I did a video in my Zeticism series, Zeticism Volume 6, on verification that the atmosphere is warm, not cold. And this video is important because it gives significant evidence for the Zetetic Eye Gyroscope model of flat Earth that I've been developing for reasons you can watch in Volume 6 here. And there's another piece of evidence I found for this, which I did not think of until very recently, and that's has to do with skydiving. Now you can see in these skydiving videos here that some of these people skydiving are clearly in aircraft ranges, very high up, way above the clouds, and this is supposed to be a part of the atmosphere where it's 70 below zero and so forth. So these people are traveling through the air probably around 170 miles an hour, and if there was any kind of cold air, any kind of cold air, let alone 70 below zero, but even if it was 30 degrees, the wind chills would be such that these people would not be able to. Look, this guy's got no gloves on. Right there, in a minute, there's a video. A guy's got shorts on and flip flops. He's way above the clouds. Now these guys are lower down here. We're getting back up to some of the higher. So look at short sleeve shirt. But you'll see some of the very, very high up ones as this video progresses. Not these videos right here. But this is an extraordinary piece of evidence. There's a simple, drastic contradiction between atmospheric science, that this is supposed to be very cold atmosphere up here, and what we all can see in video here. And, the other pieces of evidence that were in Zeticism Volume 6 are just as severe as this. The atmosphere is simply not cold. Let me skip ahead a little bit. There's some better videos, better footage of people clearly way, way up. It could be 30,000 feet, 40,000 feet, not these, where people were in shorts and so forth. So clearly there's no temperature issue. So this is just one of those contradictions that exists that we've discovered and studied in these Zeticism series, where science, so-called science, will tell you some supposed fact, call it X, but then clearly we can go and see with our own eyes and capture on video that X is false. A great one is when we were discussing how telescopes are put on mountains because there's less atmosphere to corrupt the light that's coming in from space. So it's better to have telescopes up on mountains since stars are so much more visible. Well, but then the airplane going over those mountains, the stars are less visible than they even are on the ground, which absolutely disproves heliocentrism in the Big Bang model. So these are just issues that are just not discussed. These are just a few of the ones of many extremely serious contradictions like that we've discovered in Zeticism, on Zeticism.com. So these are really serious issues, but they're just not discussed. And so anyway, this is just another piece of extremely strong evidence for a warm atmosphere. Let me see if I can find the guy who was wearing shorts. Here. See, look how high up he is. Very high up. Shorts, flip-flops. Let me go back to that. Look, he has flip-flops on. See that? How is the atmosphere any cold in any way with this video footage here? As I said earlier, even if it was just 20 degrees, the wind chills would not allow people to wear shorts, obviously. Even if there was no wind chill, shorts would be unsafe, uncomfortable. So the atmosphere is warm, and skydiving proves it. So I don't know why we look in our science books and they say it's 70 degrees below zero at 40,000 feet. It's false. The atmosphere is warm, and that means a critical piece of the Zeticism series is proven, and that's that the airplanes that it's in Zeticism Volume 1. Airplanes that see, there's the shape of the Earth right there, and so this is Zeticism Volume 1, right, like 51 minutes in, and planes always lose altitude because they're always facing their nose into the ground because of the shape of the Earth, and that's blamed on cold in the upper atmosphere, making the altimeter readings go off. So planes always have to compensate by pointing up, even though, so just to compensate for the error in the measurements of how they're flying level or non-level to the Earth. Well, if the atmosphere is warm, that's considered bogus, and there would be a quote unknown reason unquote for why planes lose altitude when they're flying, and that's because they're flying like that right there. So if you're putting all this together, this is extraordinary information which verifies the Zetetic Eye Gyroscope model of flat Earth and obliterates just another concept in the heliocentric model, which is the cold upper atmosphere.